Natasha, and thank you so much for joining me today. Well, this is more of a Christmas activity for those of us in the Southern Hemisphere. Now, absolutely, you could take this idea and run with it and make more of a snowman style out of these if you are in the Northern Hemisphere and having a cold, snowy, maybe Christmas, depending on where you are. But here in the Southern Hemisphere, we have got summer, and it is finally beginning to actually summer, and we are getting a little bit warmer temperatures, which is really nice. That doesn't mean that we're not still having hail and snow because the weather is unpredictable around here, but we are getting a little warmer. So I wanted to do a little activity, and actually being surrounded here in New Zealand, we are surrounded by water, obviously, so beaches are often not too far away, and luckily we live pretty close to some amazing beaches. And so when the kids and I were out having a day at the beach in the weekend, we were collecting some shells. There are absolutely hundreds and hundreds of thousands of these on the beach. We did not even make a dent in the spot that we were sitting in, and here we are free to take them and do some crafts with them. In fact, I did collect some of these and ended up giving them to a school with some demo ones already done for them so that they could show them how to do them and some instructions so that the kids can enjoy some crafts at school too. But I am going to be showing you, my kids and I enjoyed this process, and I think these are really fun to make and could potentially be put on some cards too. First of all, I'm going to be making a cute little Santa. So I have given the shell a little bit of white all over. I wouldn't say a thorough coating because I don't want to lose those natural colors of the shell. I want it to still be really obvious as to what these are. These shells that we have today are all either clam, cockle, or pippy shells, and so there are, just as I mentioned, thousands upon thousands of these. Now I'm going to create a little bit, this is going to be like Santa's face. So I actually ended up putting together a little bit of pink, orange, and white, and I just want a little bit, there's not much of his face that's going to be peeking through because we're going to imagine that the bottom is sort of his beard, like the white of the shell is going to be his beard, and you know, you'll see in a second what it's going to look like. But for the minute, I'm just putting on a little bit of that very light color to become where his face will be. And I know that it's a little bit hard to see this one at the minute. We also made a version that has a tree on it, and then we also made an angel version of these shells as well. I'll show you these all in this video, but I just wanted to show you another way that you can be creative. As I mentioned, you could probably do the same along the lines of what we did with the angels. You could create those into a snowman, and I think that would be really cute and really easy to pop like a little pipe cleaner or a little piece of fabric or even a little piece of paper, a cardstock, to become his scarf, and of course a little hat. Really simple. That sounds like a fun idea, actually. I might try that out. And then I have got some beautiful red. Now I'm just using acrylic paint here. These happen to be the Dina Wakley acrylic paints, but obviously whatever you have is going to work really well. Now this bit up here is going to be his hat, and then this sort of bit down the side is sort of going to be where the hat folds over, like the tip of the hat, if you will. And this will all come together as this sort of comes along in the process. You'll see where I'm going with this, and these are just some fun ideas. Obviously you could do this with your own shapes or maybe something else that you can think of. If you've got any other ideas of what you could use to create this as a base, let us know in the comment section down below. But it is really nice because obviously most of the bits and pieces out there are aimed towards the Northern Hemisphere, which is fair enough because I can't even imagine what a snowy Christmas would be like. Hopefully one day in my lifetime I will be able to experience that, but yes, for us it is a summer event, and it is warm and it is light. So we are finally getting to that time of year. Now I popped in a wee nosy there, a little red nose, and then I'm just going to take a Sharpie or like a permanent black pen, draw in a couple of eyes. You could also do this with an acrylic paint, like a black paint, and a Q-tip or something just to pop these on, but it's nice and easy for me just to draw them on. And then I draw a wee mouth down there, and of course it's got the white all around it, so that kind of represents his beard, and up above is going to be the furry bit of the hat. But you could also pop on some of that Marvy, like that puff paint to become the outside of his beard if you wanted to as well. That would be fun. And then I have some twine here. This is just what I have in my stash, so we're using what we've got. You'll see for the angel I ended up using a little bit of silver ribbon to create. We're going to hang these as ornaments on our tree. As I mentioned, the kids and I went ahead and made some of these, and then we also gave them to a school. We collected a whole lot and made some examples so that they can show the children, and some written examples and instructions of how they can make them too. So I've also got these little white pom-poms here. Now this was just from my stash. It's what I had to hand in the kids' play bits and pieces. So I am actually going to take one of those little pom-poms, and I'm going to glue it on the end of where his hat is kind of folded over. I'm going to use some hot glue to attach the little pom-pom and to also attach the bit that we will hang the tree from. I've got a little bit of the pink there that's going to become his little red rosy cheeks, and I think that's a nice little finishing touch. Of course, you could add glitter to the hat. You could add maybe even some glossy accents. I have no idea how that works on shells, but I'm sure it would. It seems like it would. And here is the tree that I talked about. I used some of the Stamperia metallic paints, which I love, and I actually did a layer of that first on the background. And then I painted the trees just with Q-tips. That's the entire tree, just with some Q-tips. And then here is, of course, the angel that I was talking about that we also created out of just some different size shells with a little bow, and then the silver ribbon up the top to pop it on the tree with. So lots of fun options. And as I mentioned, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, then I'm sure that you can make a gorgeous snowman in a similar fashion as well. But nonetheless, I hope that this is helpful for those of us in the Southern Hemisphere thinking about a warm Christmas. We finally are able to get out on the beaches and spend a lot more time outdoors, which is really lovely. We are about to embark upon our big school holidays with my children. We have about 7.5 weeks off school over summer. So we've got about a week or so left, and they finish on early December to mid-December, depending on where your schools are and what age your children are, and then we will have quite the summer fun. So I will do my best to keep my schedule as per usual, and the kids also love doing some activities with me, and so sometimes you might even see those gorgeous little hands again. But nonetheless, this is the beautiful little Santa that we have created for today, and I hope this gives you some more ideas. As I said, let me know in the comment section down below if you've got any other ideas for what we could create with this, or other ideas that you think others might like to hear or create. But nonetheless, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for your support this year, whether that be on my website through natashafootecreative.com or over here on YouTube. Every little like and comments and all those things seem to matter so much in this online world. So please know that I appreciate you, and I appreciate your help and your support. Nonetheless, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.